So we made programs that help seniors record their blood pressure, blood sugar, and weight, etc., and email it to their doctors using voice commands. So I'm going to give you an example. First, I'll make Google know that my name is Piali. Okay, Google, configure name to Piali.
New username of Piali was saved.
So now it's figured out that the category is configure, which means to change it, and it says new username of Piali was saved. So that means now it'll call me Piali. So now I'll do an example of blood pressure. Okay, Google, my blood pressure is 120 over 110.
Hello Piali, your blood pressure level is stored successfully. Piali.
So over here, it's showing that that it's going to be saving it in bloodpressure.csv, which is basically a file where it'll save all of my blood pressures that I've said. And the two numbers that I said were 120 and 110. So now it shows the date, the time, and what I've said, and it saved it to the file. And now I'll show you what happens if my blood pressure is too high. Okay, Google, my blood pressure is 270 over 50.
Hello Piali, your blood pressure level is high. Emailing for immediate attention. Successfully sent email. Piali.
So over here, it's showing the numbers and it's saving it to bloodpressure.csv as it did with the other one. But the thing that's different here is it's processing for an alarm. An alarm is basically something where it'll send an email immediately to the doctor if the blood pressure is too high or too low. And over here it says emailing for immediate attention, so it immediately emailed it to our doctor. So now I'll do it if the blood pressure is incorrect. Okay, Google, my blood pressure is 100.
Hello Piali, there was an error. Pressure requires 2 values. Piali.
So as it said, it requires 2 values for a blood pressure. And so it only shows one number, and it just says you just have to redo it with 2 numbers instead of just 1. And I'll do blood sugar. Okay, Google, my blood sugar is 100.
Hello Piali, your sugar level is stored successfully. Piali.
And it can also do, it also stores it in file blood sugar. And this is a separate file, but for blood sugar instead of blood pressure. And the category is a statement, which means I'm telling it to do something, and I'm telling it to save it to the file, which is blood sugar. And it can also do weight. Okay, Google, my weight is 120.
Hello Piali, your weight is stored successfully. Piali.
And again, it's a statement, I'm telling it to do something. But instead, it's saved to the file weight.csv, which is only for weight. And now you can also email the report to your doctor. So, okay, Google, email blood pressure to report.
Hi Piali, successfully sent email.
So, over here, I said to email the blood pressure, so it's finding bloodpressure.csv, and it's emailing it to the doctor. So one last thing that we can do is asking it a question and asking what my blood pressure was or blood sugar was in another day. So I could ask, okay, Google, what was my blood pressure on March 3rd, 2019?
You have 1 matches for that day. Blood pressure 120.0 and 20.0 at time 9:45. Piali.
So over here, it's showing what I asked, and since I said what's the blood pressure, it's searching it in bloodpressure.csv, where I store all my blood pressure. And the category is a question because I asked a question. And so it searched for the date that I said, which is March 3rd, 2019. And it found one file, which was at 9:45, and it was 120/20. And then it says what my blood. So this is an example of an email that the doctor would get. They would get the date, the time, and the sugar level. And on the x-axis, there's the date and the time, and on the y-axis, there's the sugar level. So this is an example of a graph that the doctor would get. And the blue line stands for the sugar level, and each 3 points is 1 day. And in the middle, there's a spike in the middle of the day, and this would be an after lunch spike. So if the doctor sees this, then they can adjust the seniors' diet when they exercise and when they're taking their medicine, opposed to a doctor who only saw the average, which they would only see the slightly elevated blood sugar level, and they wouldn't see all of these daily trends and fluctuations. So if a doctor were to see all of this blue line, which is the sugar level, then they could control their diabetes better.